All right, Coach Traphagen, big weekend ahead of you, but coming off a big weekend, what kind of confidence can you take in from taking down number 4 Northern and winning an overtime game before that?
You know, when you always have games on Friday, Saturdays, you're really happy when you do win because it can be a long week of practice. Our kids came out, followed the game plan, and understand you got to win at home. If you want to be one of the best teams in this league, you have to win at home because we're well aware of how hard it is to get a win on the road. So, we've had a great week of practice, and quite honestly, going in to play two teams that, since we've been in the Northern Sun for our 2 years, we haven't really competed that well with. Concordia-St. Paul here on Friday, and then turn and playing Mankato on Saturday. So, our kids had a great week of practice. I think they're playing with a certain level of confidence as we've gotten through the majority of the year with 10 games to play. To be in a position right now tied for first place, that you just know every game is meaningful. Hey, would I love to go on the road and get 2 this weekend? Yeah. I mean, every coach wants that. Would I be happy with the split? Yeah. And if you lose 2, then that puts a lot of pressure on you to make sure that when you get back home that you win everything. So we're going to take it one at a time. We've played pretty decent on the road at times. In other games, like against Winona is the one in particular that we did not play very well at all, and Winona had a lot to do with that. So hopefully, we're catching Concordia on a week that they go to Crookston on last Friday and get beat and not play real well, but turn around and score 103 on Saturday against Bemidji. So we'll see what gives, but our kids will be ready for this weekend.
And you guys are really balanced attack this last weekend. Tegan Molden had 19 against MSU Moorhead, and then you had 3 other starters in double figures. Is that difficult for other teams to prepare for you guys because you have such balanced scoring and anyone can go off?
Yeah, I think that's probably since our Winona game that we lost. I thought we were really getting one-dimensional. Every time trying to go inside to Sammy or Amber, and our guards really weren't looking, to score as much as what they should. So we've tried to make a little bit of adjustments, but I think that's probably what makes us hard to defend. We've been playing quite a while now here this year, and we still haven't had a player of the week in the league, and there's some very good players, but I think that's one thing that's a testament to our team is we're very balanced. I mean, it could be one of our bigs one day, it could be one of our guards, and when we beat the good teams that are out there, based on record, we've had a nice balance of things. So, yeah, we're fully anticipating Concordia not guarding Marie like they've had in the past, and we hope that her hitting 5 of 8, I believe, is what she was from the 3-point line, that gets her some more confidence. But again, you got to pick your poison a little bit. If you're going to allow us to go one-on-one, we're going to go inside as much as we possibly can. And if they try to double down or try to play off somebody, then big players have to step up in big moments and make shots, and that's what Marie did for us last week. So we'll see how Concordia plays us on Friday. I always say the first 5 minutes is the tall tale sign of how somebody's going to guard you for the game, and then we'll make our adjustments based on that.
And you guys where are you standing you're tied for the NSIC overall lead in South Division. You guys are in great position for a top 4 spot to host in the first round of the Northern Sun tournament. Is that something you talk about with your team, where you're standing right now?
Yesterday was the first day that we talked about that, because sometimes I think the kids need to understand what's at stake. One, we're still in the line for a conference championship. Let's say we got 10 games to play. If we're playing our best basketball, you don't know what's going to happen there. But if that doesn't happen, what's your next goal? And I think having them dangle that carrot in front of their nose a little bit, just understanding that, hey, how every possession, every single basketball game is super important, because, the reality is, with 4 of us tied, already, and one of those being from the north. So, there's 3 of us that are sitting in a very good spot to be one of those top 4 South teams. But, you look at Concordia, who is, I think, 4 games behind us, and I think Augie might be 5. But, again, we play each other. We play Augie, yet we play Concordia twice, we play Mankato twice. So there's a lot that's at stake each and every game. So, like I said, we're going to take it one at a time. We're playing pretty good basketball. Really the one game that we haven't played well, really after Christmas would probably be Wayne and Winona, the two teams that we lost to. But credit goes to those guys, and I hope that we're playing good basketball this weekend, because we're going to have to be able to go and get a couple wins this weekend.
And you touched on Marie's 3-point shooting. She started off the season great, kind of went away from it, but then a big game. But Taylor Varsho and JC Ulmer have been really good shooters this year. JC's 7th in the country right now in 3-point shooting percentage, both are making over 2 a game. Is that something that you hope can open up Sammy and Tegan inside?
And I think that's what has to happen, in all honesty, is when you mentioned Marie there for a while, wasn't looking for it. That's kind of what I told you, where we kind of got into that rhythm of just saying, let's just go inside. And we kind of lost a little bit of our aggressiveness on the perimeter. And the crazy thing is Varsh and Jace, they're big time players, and sometimes, Varsh, I always tell her it's okay to step to the 3-point line and shoot them instead of shooting 4 feet and back to the 3-point line. And Jace shoots a lot of quick ones, but I think the one thing why they're shooting well in terms of percentages, they don't need to look over at me and say, Coach, was that a good shot? If you get your feet down, I'm going to let kids that can shoot the basketball really well go with it once in a while. They know what a good shot, a bad shot is, and if they're feeling it, hey, I'm never going to say a word, and I think our posts are going to understand that, hey, the more that we hit, look at the Northern game example. It was really hard for us to get the ball inside. They were packing it in, playing off of kids. Well, after Marie hit 5 threes, what happens down the stretch? We hit 2 big buckets inside, both from connects that really kind of opened it up. They figured they better get out a little bit more on the 3-point shooters. So yeah, let's not act like it's rocket science. What we're trying to do is like, hey, the closer we can get to the rim and score, let's do it. Just like anything, the closer you are to the rim, the higher percentage you're going to shoot. So, hey, we just want balance. We want to be on attack mode. I think we're one of the more athletic teams in our league. If we can rebound and run and go shoot quick shots, within the flow of our offense, I think we're pretty good. If we always got to play half court, this and that, that's where we hope to be able to hopefully speed the game up a little bit to be able to get our transition game going as well.
And finally, back in the receiving votes section of the WCA poll, someone out there is giving you some love, and 3 of the past 4 releases of that poll. Is that another thing you talk about with the team, or is that something where you say, hey, people are recognizing us now? We're not coming in under the radar.
Yeah, we talk about the recognition. We're a ways away from being in the top 25 when you look at the number of votes. And again, I don't put much stock into that. You look at, to me, one of the hottest teams in the country right now is Wayne State's. And all they've done is won since they've played us, haven't lost a game. And they've proceeded to drop out of the top 25, where I believe they were at, you could probably help me out, 13 or 14
Yep.
At that time. All they've done has been dominating people, and they've fallen out of the top 25. So, when I see stuff like that, hey, it's a coach's poll. The important poll that comes out here is in February when the regional poll comes out, and that's kind of placing you where, you're at within your region, hopefully to make the NCAA tournament. It's fun to look at the rankings. And I think our kids deserve to understand where they're at and receiving votes. But when you see the top 25 and even say the top 40, there's a lot of good records that are involved there. So all we can control is winning the games that are in front of us. And by the end of the year, if we keep winning big games, this and that, we'll be in that top 25. And if we don't, really what we're trying to buy for is one of those regional bids.
All right, thanks, Coach. Good luck
Thanks,
this weekend, and we'll catch up with you next week.
Great.